Good morning.
Good morning.
I am your leader today, Reverend Elaine Fuller-Zachey. Welcome to the Teaching of the Inner Christ, or T.I.C. We will start out with a meditation song, We Are One. It's on page 28 of the Little Gray Songbook. We are one.
We are one.
We are one with each other as we share the love of Christ. Within we will open our hearts and our minds to receive. We are open, ready, accepting, receiving our great God. Let's take a deep breath of love, and we center, and we exhale, and we tune into the inner holiness that each of us has, that each of us is. We here at T.I.C. call it the inner Christ. And we realize that we get exactly what we need from this service. So we relax, take a deep breath, and out. We move around a little bit, open our eyes, and wiggle, and here we are. Greetings, happy. Well, the teaching of the inner Christ is a non-profit, non-denominational spiritual teaching, and T.I.C. helps all who desire to come into contact, conscious contact with that inner spirit, that inner holiness, the inner truth, called the inner Christ. So, we also call it our Christ self. So, welcome to the teaching of the inner Christ. Okay, we will start out with prayer. Prayer treatments are important. They're an important part of the teaching of the inner Christ. Why? Because they work. So, what about prayer demonstrations? Are there any prayer demonstrations? Yes, Mary Ann, please.
Well, we had a beautiful joy shop yesterday, and we're really enthused about it. It's a lot of it's the stuff we already know, but told in a different way. And sometimes when you get the same thing told to you in a different way, what happens? Click! A lot of light bulbs went off yesterday. We will be doing another one next month. It will be in the bulletin. I forget the date. It's a Saturday. It's
November 16th.
November 16th. Thank you. See, I have all kinds of people to help me with that stuff. So we will be doing the second part of this, part of 4 parts. So we will see you then if you choose to join us. And we're out of the books, so you'll have to order them probably on Amazon or someplace. Or go to your local bookstore. Support your local bookstore. That would be a good thing. Anyway, we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Reverend Mary Ann Kelly. Any other? Yes, Henry, please. This is Henry
yes.
Jones.
Yeah.
Well, I had a successful move to Texas, and I installed in the RV, and got the computer going, and the phone going, and trying to figure out how to live in a little tiny space. And I'm taking off tomorrow to go there again, come back one more time, take the last of my stuff, I'm out of my house.
Wow, okay.
Wonderful.
Looking forward to some new stuff.
There you go.
And the semi-truck made it without the tires blowing out.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
That's right.
Are there other manifestations to share with us? Well, we know that if they aren't, they're on their way, because prayer works. Okay. We have in your packet a little prayer request form. You may fill this out during the service, and we will do a general prayer request during the service a bit later on. And for those of you, you may also contact us with your prayers, and you can go to www.teachingoftheinnerchrist.org and submit a prayer. All right, we'd be happy to pray for you for 2 weeks. Okay, and during those 2 weeks, we request that you also pray at home, because after all, it is your desire. And let us know before the 2 weeks are up what's going on, because maybe you want us to revise the prayer and do it for another 2 weeks. And we certainly accept donations. Okay, thank you so much. All right. We will have a group song called Light of the World. It's on page 67 of the little book.
I think it's going to be mostly a cappella. I know the song, but the piano doesn't. So anyway, here we go.
You may stand.
I'm sorry. Light up your mind, light up the way for all mankind. Open your heart, stretch out your hand, that all may understand. Christ of the new age, ye are the light of the world. Light the way for love. Light the world, now still the storm. Make use of light in every form. Open your eyes to see the good established brotherhood. Christ of the new age, ye are the light of the world. Light the way for peace. Light of the world, now know your worth. Ye are the salt of all the earth. Open the way, send out your heart. Behold, now is the hour. Christ of the new age, ye are the light of the world. Light the way for joy. Thank you.
Joy.
All right.
Joy, here we are, joyfully right here at T.I.C. And, there are other things going on too. There is, Book of the Month. We have a Book of the Month. Every month we have a special book that is put on sale. This month's book is called, maybe you can see it, The Perfect Power Within You. It's by Jack and Cornelia Addington. And, it's how to contact that power within us, right? And a 10-step course on constructive thinking. So, sounds pretty good. Well, if you were to pour a cup of clean water into a glass of impure water each day, you would eventually have a full glass. overflowing with clear, fresh water, right? The same as with thoughts, with beliefs. Every day, eventually we replace the old untrue thoughts and beliefs with truth. And this book guides us in how to do it. Oh, and usually it is, let me see, $11.95, and this month with tax it's $10.35, and it's for this month. I encourage you to think about it and to get a copy. Yes. And let me see, coming in November, let's get ready for the holiday season. It's here, it's now, here we are. Thanksgiving potluck and tree trimming, it is here. It's November 24th. And there's a service naturally before, and immediately after following the service, we will have the potluck and the tree trimming. Okay. And as, let me see. Today, there's a potluck luncheon afterwards, and many people have worn purple or lavender, and it is Awareness Day. So we will be celebrating Awareness Day. All right. And the Sunday celebration of the 27th is in person, and it's online also. And it's at the regular time, 10:30 a.m. And here it will be a potluck and birthday Sunday right here. All right. And another reminder, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind is going on. It's a wonderful book. It's Mastering the Inner Game of Wealth. All right? It's a life-changing book. You'll learn how to identify and revise your own money blueprint to dramatically increase your income and accumulate your wealth. It's by T. Harv Eker. And to register, call Mary Ann Kelly at 619-200-3639, or email her at makelly100@gmail.com. It's great, and it's on a love donation basis. Okay, all right. A lot of things are going on. There is Truth Day Tuesday. It's November 5th at 2 p.m. Our personal lessons of abundance. Abundance, right? Abundance of what? Joy, love, prosperity. Huh? Right. Sharing about what's important to your spiritual growth. Timely topics now, right? And deep meditation and individual prayers tailored to your needs. It will be here, led by leader, teacher, inner Christ counselor, Jennifer Allen-Prather. So I encourage you to come Truth Day Tuesday, November 5th at 2 p.m. All right. We have music. We have music by a wonderful guest musician, Marilyn Valenzuela. And Marilyn Valenzuela will introduce herself, her song. So please, Marilyn.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much. What a joy to be here today, to be invited to be a part of this. So yesterday I was talking with Babaji. I was channeling a bit, and I was just
confirming about the songs I was gonna share today, and because I shared these same ones on Awareness Day, and I was kind of asking, is that a good idea? And say yes, because all the love and the energy that's gone into it, it builds. And this Babaji song, this was, he was reminding me, actually, it's 25 years for me since I first met teaching of the inner Christ and was introduced to Babaji in this way. I'd heard of Babaji before, but then, that we can have this inner connection, with Babaji, with Jesus, with, these different frequencies of being is such a gift, such an empowering thing. And so this song, because it was originally, it was a song with the Baha'i. Instead of Oh Babaji, it was Oh Bahula. So I changed the words to Babaji, and then worked with the verses from the start. And the verses have evolved over the years. I was just looking through. There was a version when the pandemic first broke out. There was a T.I.C. Healing consciousness version about that. So anyway, this is the 2024 version of the Babaji song. We are all waves of one sea. We are all leaves of one tree. We are all flowers of one garden. Bring us together in unity. Bring us together as one family. Oh, Babaji. Oh, Babaji. Oh, Babaji. Bring us together in unity. Bring us together as one family. Race mind thinking has crossed the land. Christ mind healing is at our command. Together we are united we stand. We are together in unity. We are together as one family. Oh, Babaji, thank you for T.I.C. Oh, Babaji, for bringing us together in unity, for bringing us together as one family. The light is gaining in brightness you see, looking within to find clarity, being our Christ selves for all humanity. We are together in unity. We are together as one family. Oh, Babaji, thank you for T.I.C. Oh, Babaji, bringing us together in unity. We are together as one family. Oh, Babaji, thank you for T.I.C. for giving us the tools we need to become our Christ and I am selves that we are meant to be.
Perfect words.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Marilyn Valenzuela. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, today's inspirational reading is taken from Being a Christ. It is, On October 19th, the Master Babaji appeared in physical form to Anne Meyer McKeever. In one evening, he changed her mental and physical vibrations, opened her as a channel for spirit, and placed into her mind a new teaching, the teaching of the inner Christ. He transferred to her the vibration of spirit at the mental and physical levels, so that this vibration could then be passed from person to person and fed to the whole planet. Excuse me. Today's speaker, she was a travel agent at one time, and through her wonderful job, she traveled. She went to England, she went to Hawaii, she went to South America, she went to Tahiti and other places, and she loved it. And she loved it. How wonderful, huh? So, and today she is speaking to us on Awareness Day. Celebrate 62 years of T.I.C. Let's welcome leader, teacher, inner Christ counselor, Jennifer Allen-Prather.
Oh, what a privilege. Awareness Day. T.I.C, the teaching of the inner Christ. Special holiday for bringing the teaching onto the earth. Oh, I've talked to Anne about this many times. After she transitioned from the earth. And I've talked to Babaji many times. And I just finished rereading Anne's book. It's a fascinating book. I helped her to type the manuscript. It's called Who Is With Me? And it's fascinating, and it talks about the challenges that she went through for us. For us. So I'm going to read from the charter, from the original charter of the teaching of the inner Christ, because it kind of sums up what we're all about. Be it known that a new teaching has been established for the purpose of assisting every human being, not just some, but every human being in contacting the center of divinity within themselves, through the development of his inner sensitivity, that he may commune with his Christ self, receive the spiritual gifts of prophecy, speaking in the Spirit, seeing visions, and the greatest gift of all, the Christ consciousness of life. Wow. Therefore it shall teach a God consciousness in man as man, by uncovering his true spiritual nature and his relationship to God and the universe. Boy, that's very powerful. And that's just one paragraph that kind of sums up the teaching of the inner Christ. I mean, I started reading this book again, of Who Is With Me by Anne Meyer McKeever. And it brought back memories, many memories, which I will go on to tell you about. What would our world look like without the teaching of the inner Christ? What would it look like? Think about that. I think it would be, in my estimation, it would be sad. I know somehow, somewhere, the teaching would have come through someone because it was the right time. It was a time of great cultural and spiritual upheaval in the 1960s. It would have come through, if it hadn't have been Anne, it would have come through someone else, but Anne agreed. She prophesied that she was going to do something great for this world, for others to serve. She knew even as a little child. And I know that her soul knew beforehand that this was something she had to do on the earth, to bring up the vibration, to help us all to become one with our own inner Christ. So I know that this teaching was ready to come through Anne, through Babaji, Jesus, and the spiritual masters. It was ready. On page 52 of this book, Who Is With Me, a guide that Anne, she was Anne Rosser at the time. She was married to Bill Rosser, her first husband. A guide came to her from a spiritual guide from Egypt, Puputi, I think it is, Puputi, and stated that she was going to give up 3 things. And she said, "What is that?" Puputi said, "Your marriage, your career, and your church." How many of us would be willing to do that? How many? And Babaji confirmed that, because she had contact with Babaji on a bus at the very beginning. He was a beautiful man on a bus who communed with her telepathically. And she didn't know who he was, but she loved his vibration. He confirmed that later on with a visitation and a white light that filled the entire auditorium of the church she was affiliated with at the time, the Church of Religious Science. Filled the entire church with white light so that she could only see him at the back of the church. And she could feel his vibration, and he was speaking to her telepathically. And she knew that her soul had agreed to give up her marriage, her career, and her church. Her soul knew that ahead of time, before she was born. Anne reminds me of the courage of the people that came over on the Mayflower to escape the persecution of religion. She reminds me of the pioneers that came over in their wagons across country they'd never come across. Lewis and Clark, the adventurers and scouts who mapped the West. She reminds me of those people because of their courage. It takes great courage to do these things. And it helped to pave the way for all of us. All of these people faced challenges, the unknown, the scary unknown, and the fear of that. But we are the recipients of their courage. Think of a manifestation in your life, a direct outcome of a prayer treatment, or a healing a negative thought form, or a spiritual experience that you may have had as a result of being with the teaching of the inner Christ and using those tools, or going into the class, inner sensitivity training, the basic course, and receiving your inner Christ for the first time and breaking through that psychic barrier. Think of that. Was it a whimper? Was it soft and gentle? Or was it explosive and dynamic and dramatic? Mine was very dramatic. I think I may have told you, but I'll tell you again. I was going through a divorce from my first husband. I was very sad. I was very, very upset about the whole thing, in deep depression, and I went to have a meditation with Reverend Mary Ann Kelly, and she sat across from me in a darkened room in her apartment, and all of a sudden she saw lights coming from my feet, and my feet were buzzing, That was my signal for my inner Christ. And I started laughing uncontrollably, as if somebody had told me the funniest thing in the universe, and I couldn't stop. And that was lifting me. I was breaking through the psychic barrier, lifting me to a higher consciousness, connecting me to my inner Christ, so that anytime, anywhere, I could contact my inner Christ and ask for guidance, ask for love, ask for courage. All of this was a result of what Anne brought through. So, think of it now. What in your life have you done which took great courage? Great courage. But you're glad it happened. And it changed the trajectory of your life. Is there anyone here who would like to share a short synopsis of that? Yes, Kathy Turpak. I'll take Elaine after that.
Yes, this happened long, long ago. I was in college taking nursing. I was going to become a registered nurse, and I heard about a program that the Navy had, because it was during Vietnam, and the Navy said they would pay for the last 2 years of college if you signed up for 3 years after college as a Navy nurse, because the Navy served the people who needed care, but were sent to the States. So I didn't actually serve in Vietnam, but I took care of the patients who came from Vietnam. And I was otherwise planning to spend my whole life at home in Milwaukee, but it turned out that I served several different places and ended up in San Diego, and then that led me to T.I.C. So, thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. We're so glad to have you. Yes, Reverend Elaine, Fuller-Zachey.
My husband, Paul, died. It wasn't unexpected. It was a condition that he had that had reached that point. So he passed, and all of a sudden I had all of this stuff to take care of. Prayer? Oh yes, you betcha. I did a lot of prayer, and my inner Christ, Jesus, guided me. It was just something after an initial panic, something calm would come into me, and I would know exactly what to do, step by step, and getting this repaired and that repaired, and get the house done, and then look, and then I don't know, sell things and move to a certain place. I just knew it. My inner Christ just guided me to do all of this. Thank you, dear inner Christ. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, T.I.C, for being here, for teaching me how to make this contact and how to get this wonderful guidance.
Awesome. Is there anybody else who would like to share? Yes, Anne Delamo, one of our charter members.
Yay, Anne.
62 years ago. Hi, my really moment of change is, I'm an alcoholic and I got sober. And it's been, my sobriety date is in 1992. And it opened up a big, just changed everything, because between the 12-step programs and TIC, they're like this. Mary Ann was mentioning how you see things in a different way, and they complement each other. Each one strengthens the other. So I have a large family of fellow alcoholics and fellow TIC and people who stay close. It says, be true to thine own self, be true. And so that's the depth of our lives. And it's mostly suit up, show up, and help out, and stay close to who we really are.
Thank you, Anne. That takes courage.
Gift of
It really does
desperation.
take courage.
It does, it does.
So, I was chosen by Babaji to be Anne's personal executive secretary, and I worked with Anne for a good 13 and a half years. It seemed like my whole life was at TIC, and it was. And during that time, I saw healings occur. I saw people break through the psychic barrier in their classes, and just by reading the book, Being in Christ, our basic textbook. I saw miraculous things. I had visitations. I mean, there are a lot of miraculous things that have happened. A lot of them were started by Reverend Ann Meyer McKeever. And in reading the book, Who Is With Me, she's got some amazing paranormal occurrences that happened to her, experiences and visitations from spirit that helped to guide her, and enormous power feedings that shook her and again paved the way for all of us to be calm in our meditations. I can remember going to meditations, to our spiritual retreats. We called them grand seminars in those days. And in those days, people were still receiving a lot of power.
Oh, yeah.
And when they were receiving that power, they were shaking, and they were screaming, and they were letting out all of that power to the world. Anybody coming in would have, as an outsider, would have said, "Ooh, this is a loony bin. These are crazy people." But no. This was power coming onto the earth. And nowadays, it's been lifted so high from all of us, coming down the line from Anne and Peter Meyer being the co-founder of the Teaching of the Inner Christ, who helped to bring the teaching together with Anne. It brought the vibration of the teaching so that everyone didn't have to go through what Anne and Peter went through. So I can remember someone calling me up on the phone one day, was when I was still the secretary in Lemon Grove. And we used to have three classes of inner sensitivity every week with 100 people or more. That's how thirsty people were for the teaching at that time. And we had put an advertisement in the newspaper about, have you been depressed for no reason? You feel angry for no reason? Are you upset for no reason? Have you been for a long time? Call us. We can help. So I had a man call me, and there was no one else around, and I was not a prayer therapist at that time, but I had been in several classes. And so I said, well, yes, tell me what's going on. He said, well, I've been angry for no reason for a year and depressed. And I said, so I did I confirmed that he indeed had a possession in it. The Teaching of the Inner Christ has a very loving way of healing negative influences, such as possession. A possession being someone who is passed over, but doesn't know they've passed over, and they are caught on the psychic level. And they are afraid And so they see anyone who has a light around them, and they are, if that person is